between Europe and Asia, Georgia feels like a living fairy tale, where mountain air, heartfelt hospitality, and stunning women collide with age-old traditions that are as wild as they are unforgettable. Georgia have a strong emphasis on femininity. Georgian culture places a strong emphasis on femininity, where traditional values blend gracefully with modern influences. Women in Georgia take immense pride in their appearance, often dressing elegantly with a mix of European fashion and local styles. High heels, well-tailored outfits, and polished makeup are common, reflecting a societal appreciation for poised and graceful femininity. This focus on aesthetics isn't just superficial. It's deeply rooted in Georgia's history, where women have long been celebrated as symbols of beauty, hospitality, and strength. Family and social life further reinforce these ideals. Georgian women are raised to embody both warmth and resilience, balancing nurturing roles with a quiet confidence. Traditional gender roles still hold sway in many households, with women often managing domestic affairs while maintaining careers, a testament to their multitasking prowess. Yet this doesn't diminish their independence. In urban centers like Tbilisi and Batumi, women are increasingly visible in business, arts, and politics, challenging stereotypes while upholding cultural elegance. Rituals and customs also highlight femininity. At Georgian feasts, supras, women often take on the role of gracious hosts, ensuring guests feel welcome while displaying impeccable manners. Meanwhile, dance and folklore celebrate feminine grace. Look no further than the Kartali dance, where women glide with ethereal poise, their movements telling stories of love and dignity. Even in rural areas, where life is tougher, women's strength is revered, whether they're baking shoti bread or tending vineyards. One of the oldest countries in the world. Nestled between Europe and Asia, Georgia is one of the oldest continuously inhabited countries in the world, with a history that stretches back to the Stone Age. Archaeological evidence shows that humans have lived in this region for over 1.8 million years, with the famous Dmanisi skulls offering a glimpse into early human migration. Ancient kingdoms, such as Colchis and Iberia, flourished here long before the rise of the Roman Empire, making Georgia a vital piece of the ancient world's puzzle. These lands witnessed the rise and fall of empires, yet managed to preserve their identity through millennia. Georgia's cultural continuity is most powerfully reflected in its language and alphabet. The Georgian language, unrelated to any major world language, belongs to its own Kartvalian family and remains one of the world's linguistic anomalies. It's one of the few languages with a unique script, believed to have been developed around the 3rd century BCE. The modern Makadruli script, still used today, is both elegant and complex, an artistic reflection of a people deeply rooted in their traditions. Even more fascinating, the language has absorbed little from foreign influence, despite centuries of invasions, showing the resilience of Georgian culture. The continuity of Georgian civilization is also preserved in its ancient churches, fortresses, and monasteries scattered across the countryside. From the rock-hewn city of Uplisike to the spiritual hub of Mesketa, Georgia is a living museum of human history. Its early adoption of Christianity in 337 AD only solidified its distinct place on the world stage, blending Eastern mysticism with Western architectural styles. In a world of shifting borders and lost cultures, Georgia stands as a remarkable testament to the endurance of a nation shaped by time, tradition, and an unwavering sense of self. Birthplace of wine. Nestled in the stunning heart of the Caucasus, Georgia proudly stands as the world's oldest winemaking nation, a title it claims with unrivaled confidence. Imagine the thrill of archaeological discoveries revealing ancient clay vessels known as kavevri that date back over 8,000 years. These remarkable artifacts containing remnants of grapes tell a story that stretches all the way back to 6000 BCE. In a fascinating twist of history, these vessels were cleverly buried underground to ferment and store wine, and they continue to be utilized by winemakers today, keeping alive a tradition that predates even the majestic Egyptian pyramids. This groundbreaking discovery not only reshapes our understanding of viticulture, but also cements Georgia's legacy as the true cradle of wine civilization, a place where the art of winemaking has been perfected over millennia. Celebrate the rich heritage that flows through every glass of Georgian wine. Wine in Georgia is far more than a drink. It's a symbol of identity woven into the fabric of everyday life. The ancient method of making wine in kvevari has been recognized by UNESCO as part of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Unlike modern steel fermentation, this technique allows the grapes, skins, and stems to ferment together in large earthenware pots, resulting in Georgian wines with a distinctive earthy complexity. Many families still produce their own batches at home, and wine is central to every feast, celebration, and religious ritual. It's not unusual to hear a toast in a Georgian supra feast that begins with the words, "Let us drink to our ancestors who taught us the secrets of the vine." Georgia is home to over 500 indigenous grape varieties, more than anywhere else on Earth. From the robust red Saperavi to the crisp white Arkatsiteli, each bottle tells a story of land, time, and tradition. The country's diverse microclimates and fertile valleys create ideal conditions for wine growing, allowing this ancient practice to flourish in the modern world. In Georgia, wine is not just a legacy, it's a living tradition, a shared heritage, and a deeply rooted passion passed down through generations. A language like no other. Georgia's alphabet is a mesmerizing symbol of its cultural uniqueness and deep-rooted ancient traditions. As one of only 14 unique writing systems in the world, the Georgian script is a true gem. Its graceful and fluid design, featuring beautifully rounded letters, brings to mind the artistry of each character, as if it were lovingly painted with a brush rather than simply written. The elegance of this script not only captures the eye, but also reflects the rich history and soul of the Georgian people. Adding to its allure, the Georgian language surprises with its absence of capital letters, allowing every word, sentence, and proper noun to flow together seamlessly. This unique feature highlights a sense of continuity and equality in writing, rather than imposing a hierarchy. Beyond mere communication, the Georgian script is a vibrant artistic expression that embodies the spirit and identity of the Georgian people. The origins of the Georgian script trace back to at least the 5th century CE, though some scholars believe earlier versions may have existed. Over time, it evolved through 3 different forms: Asomtavruli, Nuskuri, and Makadruli, the last of which is used today in everyday writing. Makadruli is both efficient and visually captivating, and it's taught in schools across the country from an early age. Despite the global rise of digital communication, Georgians proudly preserve their alphabet, using it not only in literature and education, but also in modern design, branding, and even graffiti. It remains a powerful emblem of national identity. The language behind the script is just as exceptional. Georgian is part of the Kartvelian language family, which is completely unrelated to any Indo-European, Semitic, or Turkic languages that dominate the region. This linguistic isolation has helped preserve Georgia's cultural uniqueness for millennia. Words sound unlike anything spoken elsewhere, and the grammar is famously complex yet beautifully structured. Speaking or even reading Georgian offers a glimpse into a worldview entirely distinct from most of the modern linguistic map. Together, the language and script reflect the soul of Georgia, ancient, proud, and utterly original. The world's deepest cave, nestled beneath the majestic peaks of the Arabica Massif in Georgia's western Caucasus Mountains, lies a breathtaking secret: the Veryovkina Cave, the deepest known cave on Earth. Plunging an astonishing 2,212 meters, over 7,257 feet, into the depths below, this colossal natural wonder begins with a narrow entrance perched on high limestone cliffs. From there, it unfurls into a captivating labyrinth of sheer vertical shafts, twisting tunnels, and expansive underground chambers. But the Veryovkina Cave is more than a mere geological marvel. It's a realm that challenges the limits of human endurance and curiosity. Adventurers and explorers alike are drawn to its depths, where each descent unveils the mysteries of the earth and ignites a sense of wonder that defies the imagination. Discovering this hidden abyss isn't just an exploration, it's a thrilling journey into the unknown. Exploration of Veryovkina Cave is no ordinary adventure. Expeditions into its depths can take weeks, requiring climbers to rappel down sheer vertical drops, squeeze through water-filled passageways, and set up underground camps miles below the surface. The temperature remains a constant 4 to 6 degrees Celsius, 39 to 43 degrees Fahrenheit. And the journey is so demanding that only the most experienced speleologists attempt it. The cave is a living laboratory for studying geology, hydrology, and the biology of subterranean life forms that thrive in total darkness, isolated from the surface world for millions of years. What makes Veryovkina even more extraordinary is its location. Georgia is not widely known for its caves, yet it harbors one of the most profound on Earth. The Arabica Massif itself is a karst wonderland, riddled with hundreds of cave systems, many still unexplored. Veryovkina's record-breaking depth was only confirmed in 2018 by a team of Russian cave explorers, adding a new chapter to the most extreme subterranean frontiers on Earth. As scientific exploration continues, who knows what else lies in its hidden depths? Georgia's underground world is as thrilling and mysterious as its legendary landscapes above. You can ski and sunbathe in one day. Georgia is one of the rare places on Earth where you can carve fresh tracks through powdery snow in the morning and lounge under the warm sun by the sea in the afternoon. Thanks to its compact size and dramatically varied geography, it offers the surreal possibility of skiing in the Caucasus Mountains and sunbathing along the Black Sea coast, all within a single day. A drive from the alpine resorts of Gudari or Bakuriani to the subtropical shores of Batumi can take as little as 5 to 6 hours, depending on your route and pace. In the highlands, Georgia boasts world-class ski resorts nestled in the Caucasus Range, where peaks reach over 5,000 meters. Gudari, the most popular winter destination, offers everything from wide-open runs to off-piste adventure, all against a backdrop of snow-covered summits and crisp alpine air. Meanwhile, further south, Bakuriani draws families and beginners with its cozy slopes and Soviet-era charm. Both regions are well-equipped and continually expanding their offerings to attract an increasing number of international visitors each year. But once you descend toward the Black Sea coast, the landscape transforms dramatically. Palm trees replace pine forests, and the crisp mountain air gives way to the humid breeze of Batumi, Georgia's modern coastal city. Here, the temperature can be warm enough for beachgoers, even in early spring or late autumn. With its vibrant promenade, pebble beaches, and lively cafes, Batumi feels like a different country entirely. The contrast is striking, and that's exactly what makes Georgia so magical. Where else can you sip mulled wine in a ski lodge at breakfast and toast with chilled white wine by the sea at sunset? It's a land of surprising juxtapositions and unforgettable day trips. A land of towering watchtowers. Tucked deep within the rugged Caucasus Mountains, the region of Svaneti in northern Georgia feels like a journey back in time. Scattered across its steep valleys and alpine meadows stand hundreds of medieval stone towers, ancient sentinels that have watched over the land for nearly 1,000 years. Built between the 9th and 13th centuries, these towering structures were both homes and fortresses, offering protection from invaders, blood feuds, and even the unforgiving natural forces of the high mountains. The towers, known as koshki, are a distinctive symbol of Svan culture and resilience. Often rising 4 to 5 stories high, they were constructed from local stone without mortar, showcasing incredible craftsmanship. Each family or clan had its own tower, which could be sealed off during conflict or avalanche threats. The upper floors were used for defense, with narrow slits for archers, while the lower levels served as storage or livestock shelters. This unique architectural style was born of necessity in a land where danger came as often from fellow villagers as it did from foreign armies or nature itself. Today, Svaneti is a living museum, with the UNESCO-listed village of Ushguli being one of the best preserved examples. Surrounded by snow-covered peaks and untouched wilderness, these towers rise like echoes of a fierce, independent past. Their silhouette against the mountain skyline is unforgettable, especially when bathed in golden light during sunrise or sunset. Visiting Svaneti isn't just about admiring ancient architecture. It's about stepping into a culture that has fiercely preserved its language, traditions, and way of life for centuries. In a rapidly modernizing world, The watchtowers of Svaneti stand as stoic reminders of human ingenuity, survival, and the enduring spirit of the Georgian highlands. Homeland of Prometheus, high in the dramatic peaks of the Caucasus Mountains, legends whisper of an immortal punishment that echoes through the crags and glaciers of Georgia. According to ancient Greek mythology, this is where Prometheus, champion of humanity, was chained by Zeus himself. His crime? Defying the gods to bring fire to mankind, giving civilization its spark of progress. For this bold act, he was sentenced to eternal torment, bound to the rocks of the Caucasus, while an eagle feasted daily on his liver, which would regenerate each night. Though the myth originates in Greece, the landscape described is unmistakably Georgian. Many historians and mythologists believe the Caucasus referenced in the Promethean myth corresponds to the rugged region of western Georgia near Mount Kazbek, a striking, snow-covered peak that towers above the clouds. Local lore supports this theory, with Georgian traditions tying the story of Amirani, a cultural hero in Georgian mythology, to the tale of Prometheus. Much like Prometheus, Amirani defied the gods, was chained to a mountain, and endured eternal suffering. The overlap is more than coincidental. It suggests a shared mythological lineage between Georgian and Greek civilizations, or perhaps even a Georgian origin that inspired the Greeks. Standing in the shadow of Georgia's majestic peaks, it's easy to feel the weight of ancient stories woven into the land. The idea that one of the most enduring legends of defiance and sacrifice is rooted in this region adds a layer of mythic grandeur to the already breathtaking scenery. Whether fact or folklore, the connection between Georgia and Prometheus adds an alluring mystique to the country's cultural heritage, transforming its mountains from geological marvels into silent witnesses of a myth that still burns brightly in the imagination of the world. Joseph Stalin was born here, in the quaint Georgian town of Gori, cradled by rolling hills and ancient churches. History made a dramatic turn with the birth of one of the 20th century's most polarizing figures, Joseph Stalin. Born Iosef Vissarionis J. Yugashvili in 1878, his early years were marked by struggle as he was raised in a household that knew the weight of poverty. With a laundress mother and a cobbler father, Stalin's transition from humble beginnings to the ruthless leader of the Soviet Union is as captivating as it is haunting. Gori, once just a simple town, transformed into a landmark of history, forever shadowed by the legacy of a man whose choices would send ripples across the globe. Despite the divisive legacy Stalin left behind, Gori continues to preserve his memory in an unusually direct way. At the heart of the town stands the Joseph Stalin Museum, a grand Soviet-style building, complete with a green train car he used in a preserved version of his childhood home. The museum, built in the 1950s, presents a curated and largely uncritical view of Stalin's life, highlighting his rise to power in his role in World War II, while often glossing over the purges and brutal policies that defined much of his rule. It draws thousands of visitors each year, some curious, some reverent, and others critical of its tone. Walking through Gori today offers a surreal experience, a juxtaposition of quiet Georgian life with the looming shadows of Soviet history. Locals have mixed feelings about the attention Stalin's birthplace receives, but it remains a rare opportunity to peer into the early world of a man who shaped much of the modern world's geopolitical landscape. For history enthusiasts and casual travelers alike, Gori serves as a stark reminder that even the most unassuming places can give rise to global forces that alter the course of nations. No gendered pronouns in Georgian. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Georgian language is its complete absence of gendered pronouns. In Georgian, there is no equivalent of he or she. The single word is used for everyone, regardless of gender. This linguistic feature subtly reflects a different cultural lens through which Georgians view identity and communication. Rather than prioritizing gender distinctions, the Georgian language adopts a more neutral and universal approach, focusing on the subject's actions or qualities rather than their gender. This unique structure offers more than just grammatical curiosity. It challenges assumptions about how language shapes thought. In many languages, gendered pronouns often reinforce roles and biases, whether intentionally or not. In Georgian, however, there is no grammatical requirement to identify or assume someone's gender, which can create more room for open and inclusive expression. It also presents an interesting advantage when learning the language. There's one less layer of complexity to master. Speakers don't need to modify adjectives or verbs to match gender, which streamlines sentence construction and offers a fresh approach to personal identity in speech. Interestingly, Georgian's lack of gendered pronouns is not a product of modern reforms, but has always been part of its linguistic DNA. This makes it one of the oldest languages to offer such a contemporary linguistic feature naturally. While Georgian culture is deeply traditional in many ways, its language opens doors to progressive thought, reminding us that inclusivity can be deeply rooted rather than recently invented. Whether you're a language enthusiast, a traveler, or someone curious about gender and communication, Georgian offers a rare glimpse into how ancient grammar can align with modern values. In a world increasingly aware of the power of words, Georgia's approach to pronouns feels refreshingly ahead of its time. The feast is a sacred tradition. In Georgia, dining is never just about food, it's a grand cultural ritual known as the supra, a traditional feast that blends gastronomy with philosophy, storytelling, and communal spirit. This deeply rooted custom is one of the cornerstones of Georgian identity, passed down through generations as both celebration and ceremony. A typical supra includes an overflowing table of home-cooked dishes, kinkali dumplings, khachapuri bread, grilled meats, fresh herbs, and copious amounts of wine, often homemade. But what truly defines a supra isn't what you eat, it's how you eat it, and most importantly, how you toast. Enter the tamada, the appointed toastmaster, who holds court over the evening with a combination of wisdom, wit, and lyrical elegance. The tamada leads the flow of wine and words, offering toasts that can range from heartfelt to humorous, philosophical to poetic. Toasts are made for peace, friendship, ancestors, love, and life itself. Guests are expected to listen with reverence and raise their glasses with intention, transforming a simple dinner into a soul-stirring performance. The tamada may even challenge guests to add their own thoughts or stories, turning the gathering into a collective expression of gratitude, memory, and hope. A supra can last for hours, sometimes stretching deep into the night, filled with singing, dancing, and storytelling. Each toast builds upon the last, creating a layered narrative that connects everyone at the table. For Georgians, a supra is more than hospitality. It's an art form and a moral tradition. It affirms the importance of community, the beauty of language, and the sacred act of breaking bread together. Attending one is like stepping into a living epic, where the food nourishes your body, but the words feed your spirit. It's an experience you won't just remember, you'll carry it with you forever. A surreal border of Europe and Asia, Georgia occupies a fascinating geographic and cultural crossroads, where the boundaries of Europe and Asia blur into one another. Tucked between the towering Caucasus Mountains and the shimmering Black Sea, Georgia is one of the few countries on Earth where you can stand with one foot in Europe and the other in Asia, figuratively, if not literally. This has led to centuries of debate. Is Georgia European or Asian? Geographers might point to the Greater Caucasus as the continental divide, placing Georgia on the Asian side. But culturally, historically, and politically, Georgia leans strongly toward Europe. This duality is etched into every part of the country's identity. In its ancient monasteries, you'll find Christian traditions dating back to the 4th century, making Georgia one of the oldest Christian nations in the world, a trait it shares with its European neighbors. Yet, its architectural motifs, culinary influences, and language bear the rich, exotic flavor of the East. The streets of Tbilisi, Georgia's eclectic capital, showcase this beautiful blend. Cobblestone lanes lined with Eastern-style wooden balconies, Art Nouveau facades, and Orthodox churches standing alongside sulfur bathhouses and bustling bazaars. The surreal border between Europe and Asia makes Georgia feel like a land suspended between worlds, where East meets West and past meets future. It's not just a point on a map, but a living example of global fusion. Here, the values of European modernism coexist with ancient Asian mysticism. This unique position has forged a national character that is at once fiercely independent and open-heartedly cosmopolitan. Whether you view it as European or Asian, Georgia defies easy categorization. It invites travelers to look beyond labels and embrace the complexity of a country that offers the best of both continents in one unforgettable destination. Thanks for exploring the charm and quirks of life in Georgia, where beauty, culture, and nature collide. Hit subscribe if you're ready for more hidden gems and unforgettable places around the world.